Hello friends and happy Tuesday. Welcome back to Budgeting with Kim. Sorry, I'm making everything bounce all over. I'll try to stay still. Today is my day to do the Q3 completion of the financial hop. I feel like overall it was a successful quarter. Though I'm going to, reiterate what it was that I said at the end of last quarter, which was, even if it's not great, as long as you learned something from it, then it was successful, right? As long as, if you had a setback, which I did 2 or 3 times, as long as you learned a lesson from it, as long as you figured out how to, maybe prepare for it better, or there's a word I'm looking for. I don't know what it is. You get the idea. As long as you learned something from it, how to, maybe try to mitigate that setback, then it was a success. The only time it's a failure is, if you learn nothing and you continue to make the same mistake over and over again. That's also kind of the definition of insanity, just a side note, which is kind of what I feel like when I'm going over my budget sometimes. But anywho, I will digress. So here were my Q3 goals. I wanted to do a big examination of the budget in the third quarter. I didn't accomplish that until right at the end. And I can't say that I'm done examining it. I have taken a step back and tried to look at it as a whole. I have tried to examine what my various sinking funds look like and what I want everything to look like at the end of the year. I feel like I'm kind of honing in a little bit on what I want my new budget to be, but I'm not quite, this is not in the center and it's bothering my OCD. There we go. I'm not quite there yet. I'm still working on it, but I'll get there. It just takes time. I'm an overthinker, and so I have to overthink something to death, and then I'll be like, oh yeah, there's the answer, when the answer was there 2 months ago. Anyway, goal number 2, as far as personal goals were concerned, was to be able to put more money into low priority sinking funds, now that I'll have a year to save for the more higher priority stuff, which I have started doing. At some point in the third quarter, and I couldn't tell you exactly when, Mr. Kim and I sat down and said, okay, we've reached a point where we feel like we're safe with everything. What do we want, our lower priority type stuff? What do we want to have? What do we want to work towards? What do we want to save? What do we want to achieve, etc., etc. And we accomplished that. Now, is it all the money in the world that I want it to be? Well, of course not. I'm not a, multi-trillionaire, but, for us, it's comfortable. Unless the sinking fund is called car maintenance, and that one keeps getting depleted. Continue to hold myself accountable to myself, my family, and to those that watch my videos. I feel like, to a certain extent, I don't know why I'm answering these over here when I have the answers on the back. I should have just turned over here. I did have, let's go back up a couple of bullet points. I had a setback in August. I was doing really good. I had saved approximately what I thought my house insurance was going to be, comparable to last year, because it did go up a little bit last year. So I thought naively, oh, well, it went up last year, it's not going to go up again this year. Wrong. My house insurance company decided that they were going to re-examine how they insured homes under their company, and so my house insurance went up $800 that I didn't have saved. And so that was that was a mad scramble to find that $800 in the 2 weeks that I had before that bill was due. That was cray cray. But I did it. I had to, I don't want to say rob Peter to pay Paul, because that's not accurate, but I was, pulling money from other sinking funds to cover it. Now, I am proud to say I did not touch my emergency fund. I didn't put it on credit, which isn't completely accurate because I paid for it on my credit card and then I used the cash to pay the credit card right back off. So technically I didn't put it on credit. I had the cash to pay for it. But it was a bit of a mad scramble to get it taken care of, but we got there. Put more money into low priority sinking funds. We've done that. And I feel pretty comfortable in what we've done as far as our low priority sinking funds. We had 300 and some odd saved for car maintenance, and surprise, surprise, with older cars, we needed it and used it. And, I managed to pay for all of those car repairs in cash. So that was a success. I mean, I wasn't prepared to spend it. I wanted it to keep growing and growing and, just getting bigger and bigger. But either way, the money was there and we had it, so it was paid for. This one right here, on the other side, I said continue to hold myself accountable. I had given myself permission to use my credit card. Maybe that was Q2, I think. But the stipulation was I had to have the money to cover it. Well, okay, so I didn't totally stick to that. We have eaten out a few times, and there is that on there, but it's nothing like, what it was. So I'm aware and I'm working to pay it off, and I do have an extreme amount of guilt because I put a couple $100s on my credit card that I didn't have the cash to cover. I could easily have it all paid off if I pulled money out of other sinking funds. I just don't want to do that. I want to let those sinking funds get nice and full and stuffed and have, the money there to use. One of my goals for Q3 was to pay off my refrigerator because I had to put $700 on my credit card to pay for the refrigerator that died. And I'm very excited to say that refrigerator is paid off. That felt amazing. I did get a home equity line of credit to cover the $6,000 I had in credit card debt. And out of that $6,000, when did I do that? I want to say it was in the third quarter. I don't remember. I should have written that date down. Out of $6,000, I'm down to a balance of $4,404. So I'm going to take that as a win. $1,600 in 2 or 3 months. I'll take that any day out of the week. I mean, I'd rather it be zero, but again, Christmas is 100% saved for. Christmas would have been done a month or 2 ago, except I robbed from Christmas to pay my house insurance because my thinking was, hey, I have all this time until Christmas because my house insurance is due in August. I have all this time until, I have to have Christmas saved up for. No big deal. I'm going to take this 300 and some odd dollars that I was going to put into my Christmas fund, and I paid my house insurance with it. And, as much as I didn't like having to do that, looking back, I would do it again because it was the right idea. It was the best way to go. Could I have pulled money out of other sinking funds? Yes, I could have. But most of those sinking funds at that time were sinking funds that had to go to very specific things, right? You know, maybe it was car insurance, or maybe it was, you know, real estate tax, or anywho, you know, I can't tell the tax man, oh, hey, by the way, you know, I pulled money from my tax envelope to pay for my house insurance, but my kids had a fantastic Christmas. I don't think the tax man's going to like that very much. So I prioritized, and I prioritized pulling from Christmas over other things. And it was the right choice, because now a couple of months later, Christmas is paid for again, which is awesome. I have never had Christmas 100% saved for this early on. And while I probably am not going to save quite as intensely as I have been, I'm going to try at least to get another $50 to $100 put into it, just as a cushion for the cushion. You know, I would not complain about having a little more put into it. Now, I did set some goals for myself as far as budgeting with Kim is concerned. One of the goals that I wanted to do, or at least ponder, was incorporating, and I haven't done that yet. It's not inexpensive. It's you know, between $200 and $500 to incorporate. That's not something that's in my wheelhouse of knowledge, and so to do that, it's somewhere between $250 and $500, and you know, I want to have that in cash saved for before I, you know, go and just do it. Like I don't feel like just doing it is the right idea. Could I put it on my business credit card? I could, sure. Do I want to? No, I don't. I did create a business binder. That was one of my goals for Q3. I have it. There's cash in it. Am I quite as fastidious about putting money into it as I should be? No. But there is a reason for that. So I did just put out, well, I say just, I think I did it in September, a big savings binder. It's called A Stroll Through the Lavender. Shameless plug. It's over on my Etsy right now for sale. And in order to make that, I needed some things that I didn't have, because I wanted it to be, I wanted that product that I put out to be quality, instead of just, yeah, you know, I could use the laminator that I have and it might look okay. No, that's not what I wanted. So I did put about $600 on my credit card, my business card, to buy the equipment that I needed. And that is almost paid off. So once that's done, then I will get back to following the formula that I have created. I always save for taxes. I always save for emergency fund. As a matter of fact, I am using the Village Hop, the Kids Hop, and the Fur Baby Hop as a way to save for my emergency fund, because I used to do the hop all the time, and it's so much fun to me. I enjoy it so much. And I had to stop doing the hop in order to put money towards 1 month ahead. And so I found a way to be able to play it again, and oh, I missed it so much. It's so much fun. I'm loving it. Another Q3 goal for budgeting with Kim was keep better track of business expenses. I'm failing at that miserably. I am, and I know that I am, and it's terrible that I am. I've got to get to work on that, because the end of the year is going to be here, and it's going to be tax time. And will I have had anything done? No. Is it going to be a mad scramble, and am I going to become a crazy person? Yeah. So I really should. It's a Q4 goal, is to, but you know, by the end of the year, be ready and prepared with the stack of paperwork that I need. I'll get around to that. My last Q3 goal for budgeting with Kim was try to make a profit. It's teeny tiny. It's teeny tiny. It's there, but it's like that much. Do you know? Can you see through my fingers? Nope. It's like that much, but it's there. So I feel like I'm headed in the right direction. I have been gaining more memberships over on Ko-Fi, which at this point, that amount is so tiny. It pays for a couple of memberships that I have over there. I don't want any membership that I offer to be expensive. I want it to be affordable. Affordable and enjoyable, and so it's very small, but it's there. And I have recently started offering memberships on YouTube, which is cool. So you know, I'm eating that great big gigantic elephant one teeny tiny little bite at a time, and as long as I continue to move forward, then you know, I'm going to look at that as a success. Q4 goals. I tried to write them down, and all I could come up with was finish Q3. So the goals that I wrote for third quarter, we'll get to that in just a minute. The goals that I wrote for third quarter that I didn't get done basically are my fourth quarter goals. To me, there is no point in trying to do anything else until I've finished those steps. Now, will I come up with something else along the way? Probably. As of this moment though, I don't know what it would be, you know, other than to just keep moving forward. So that's my Q4 goals, is to finish up where I didn't finish for Q3. I got this from April's Fresh Start. This was over on her Etsy as a digital download. The high priority sinking funds that I save for, there aren't many really. I don't have a mortgage. I don't have any car loans, and so my sinking funds aren't massive, mainly because I don't have the income to have massive sinking funds. So I saw this, somebody else was using it and I loved it. Oh, it was Jenny over at Simply Living Saves. She had one similar to this. So for house insurance, I have determined this year I'm saving $22.50. That's my goal that I will achieve. And I will achieve that by saving just over $200 a month. Now, is 200 times 12, you know, that is for those months where there's just another extra. Anyway, it all works out in my head. Obviously, October is not done yet. My insurance is due in August. So for August and September, I'm on track. Real estate tax, again, I'm on track for that one as well. October is not done, so you know, I can't claim that October is successful because it's not over yet. Propane was due into July, 1st of August, and it wasn't quite as much last year. Okay, for this batch of propane that we just paid for, I didn't need quite as much as I had prepared for. So while I am continuing to save for propane, it's fully funded for the rest of the year just by what is still in my high interest savings account. And that's really it for sinking funds for my home. Car insurance, I pay it every 6 months. It'll be due again in January. And so far for July, August, and September, I'm on track. I save $180 a month and my goal is $1,080. It wasn't that much this past time, but $180 is what I could fit into my budget, and $1,080 is what, you know, 6 months of that totaled up to. So I'm okay with that. And the other, you know, real main one is property tax. Last year it was like right at $90 for my 2 older vehicles. This year we'll have to pay property tax on Mr. Kim's pickup as well. His vehicle is even older than my 2 vehicles, and so I have $180 saved. There's no way that his truck will be that much. It's a early 90s model Chevy pickup. It's not going to be $80. My vehicles will probably not even be $90. I have an 05 Honda, an 05 Dodge Grand Caravan and an '06 Honda Civic. They're both old enough now where all I get charged is the minimum, which will probably be somewhere between $75 and $80 for the year for those two vehicles. But I have 180 saved. I'm going to leave that 180 there until I get that tax bill on December 1, which will then allow me to better prepare for next year, because in this moment I'm just guessing as to what it's going to be. Two big wins and two big takeaways. Christmas is done and I hit $1,100 in my emergency fund. Now, am I going to continue saving for my emergency fund? Yes. The amount that I will continue to save towards my emergency fund is going to decrease by $10 a week. And the amount that I put towards debt, did I say that right? The amount that I'm saving for my emergency fund is going to go down by $10 a week. And the amount of money that I put towards my debt is going to go up by $10 a week. So, there's no significant change in dollar amount coming in or going out. It's just I'm shifting that $10 from one sinking fund to another, basically, if debt could be considered a sinking fund. Anywho, I did buy this debt-free land. My total debt was $6,000. I wish I could remember exactly when we did that. July, August, somewhere in there. I don't remember exactly. Anywho, so at the time of this filming, I have paid up to this mark right here. I have the rest of this money to go make a payment. However, I've just not made it to the bank yet to do it. And quite frankly, it's not due until into November. So I am just holding off on getting that done. But I have it. It's right here. I just have to do it. So I'm just over 25% of the way done, which is awesome. Can't wait until I am at the finish line. That will be really fantastic. But until then, we're gonna scoot right along and keep doing what we're doing. Do have to get those few times that we ate out, I have to get that paid for. But again, that was my own, oh man, I really want to go out to eat. Oh, we really don't have the money. That's okay. I'll just put it on my credit card. So, falling back on old bad habits. But I'll get it paid off and then I'll go back to just being my bills that are on there, which you all are with me at the end of each month when I pull money out. That money comes out of our sinking funds and goes right back to the bank to pay that bill. So I'm okay with that stuff being on there. And, I get points for those bills being paid for on my card, which is fantastic because occasionally I can use those reward points to get something I really want off of Amazon and not have to pay for it. So that's awesome. But yeah, that's it. Q3 is done. I feel pretty positive about it. Like I mentioned, that house insurance going up an additional $800 and having to pull from a bunch of different envelopes was not fun. It did not make me happy. I did not like having to do it. I would have had more money at this point if I didn't have to do it, but it was the kick in the pants that I needed to find a way to save more for house insurance. So in the end, I'm going to turn it into a win just because, I learned from it. It taught me a lesson and now I am, practicing that lesson and I feel like I'm being successful at it because I'm sticking to my budget every month for how much money goes towards house insurance. So there we go. All done. I'm going to be positive because as Miss Donna and Miss Andra and Miss Stephanie, Budget with Mama Bear, always say, it is about mindset. And so I'm going to have a positive mindset about it. And third quarter was a win. So yay. Here's hoping the rest of the year ends just as positively. And while I'm not trying to move time along, I really cannot wait to have Christmas, you know, purchased and wrapped and completed, and I didn't have to put a penny on my credit cards for it. That will be awesome. Can't wait. All right, friends, have a wonderful day. I was completely unprepared. I don't have my calendar in front of me of who On went yesterday, Craft and Budget with On, but I don't have my calendar in front of me of who is going next. Stand by for just a minute and I'll pull it up though. If you will go to Donna Powered by Creativity's website, she will have a link for it, and I will put one, I will have her linked down in my description box below. So you can, you know, click on her link and go to her page and download it if you want to. While I'm talking, I am also pulling up the post of her website so I can tell you who's going next. I'm just talking while I'm you know, trying to find that information. But it's on her website. I just had to get to her website without reaching, you know, all the way up in your face. I'll put it down. Oh, no, that's Q2. So there will be a calendar, Q3 financial goals hop. I do believe it is under the Village Hop tab. Oh, here it is. October Financial Goals Hop Calendar. It's absolutely free. You don't have to pay a penny for it. So yesterday was Craft and Budget with On. Today is myself. And then on Thursday, the 16th, will be Mindy's Budgeting. Again, I will have everybody linked down in the description box below. There have been some fantastic videos so far, and I have no doubt that there will continue to be for the rest of the month. So go check everybody out, listen to what they have to say, learn from their lessons, and keep on chugging forward and keep on saving. And I will see you all tomorrow. Bye, everybody. Thank you.